Welcome to Hard Knock Dice, and we are in episode 2 of Roads of Ruin. My name is Kylie. I remember to introduce myself this time, and I'm going to be your storyteller for the evening. And the lovely people to my left, at least I think it's to my left, who's to say, those are my dear friends and your heroes for the evening. Before we get started, a link's going to pop into that chat. We're raising money with Extra Life for the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Open up your heart wallets and do the lawful kind thing and help out a kid or two. So, friends, are you excited tonight? Wonderful.
Let's go.
I'm excited. Before we can start, though, for folks who missed the first episode, I'm going to do a quick recap. So last week, we met our heroes in the middle of a time stop where they were charged with completing an undefined task by Aurora, a once long dead hero of Amica, before being fully healed and re-entering the battle. In the case of Emmett, due to that conversation, he had been teleported to a different location, making it so that when time started again, he was not where he had been, which was on top of a dragon. When it was clear that all the members of the cavalry, including our heroes, had defeated their monsters in their quadrant of the battlefield, everyone was recalled to a pickup location. While on this little walk, our heroes met up with each other and began to talk about Aurora's appearance. Ronan discovered that there was no other Cav members affected by this time stop, and that more information was needed to figure out what was going on. Once back on the Isla, they had a little time before their mission debrief, and so everyone headed out to do something and figure things out. So Emmett made a call to his representative to get some permissions and information about stuff and things. Ronan grabbed a snack and talked to the lead engineer of the lab. Mira took a nap and called her mom. Nicodemus fired his publicist in a very public forum. Anastasia made some calls to her sponsors, and Kevin went to the library, as all good wizards do, and found a history of Amica that maybe confirmed the identity of Aurora. During their debrief with Hannah Fox, the armorer and lead Cav member of the Lighthouse, it was revealed that while at first glance all the videos from the battle synced up, the videos from their areas were 5 minutes longer. And then the team informed them that an entity, in the form of one of the original 6 heroes, stopped them and gave them a mission to save the world. After a little bit of panic on her end, she told them to come back later to have a longer conversation and dismissed them to continue the rest of the mission debriefs. The group separated again, this time looking for information to help them answer some of those questions. Emmett, Ronan, and Kevin looked into Hannah's Cav group and discovered that one of her group died in a Kraken attack in St. Fee. And Kevin discovered that last year's cohort went missing. Nicodemus walked the halls of heroes looking for information on Hannah and discovered that she was not a legacy Cav member and took a closer look at the statue of Aurora, stopping to see if the entity made any mistakes. Mir went to the Elder Council and discovered that there's always weird face shit happening and started a scarf for her mom. And Anastasia went and spoke to Asher, a fellow West by God Cav member, and asked about the weird stuff that was happening during the fight. Asher did not notice anything, but believed Anastasia. And then Anastasia went to speak to Mama, a proprietor of a local restaurant catering to delicacies of West by God, and asked her if she knew anything, finding out nothing from her, and then ultimately bringing back some gumbo to everybody, including Asher. Finally, the time came to meet up and find out what Hannah would not share earlier. She revealed that they had been tasked by another member of the 6 to wait for a sign that would let her know that the right group to share the information she'd been keeping secret for 20 years. She confirmed that they are help finishing something which would indeed help save the world. She confirmed that the cohort from last year just up and disappeared. They weren't dead, just missing, and that Martha Alcott, the representative and leader of the Isla, was in charge of looking for them, has not turned up anything. It's decided that the group would start their investigation at the crossroads of the Roads of Ruin, and that is where we are going to begin tonight's chapter. Woo! Woo! That's where...
Yeah!
Bang old bang.
So, Hannah has given you permission to utilize one of the Isla's, or one of the lighthouse's vehicles. Does anybody have any kind of vehicle proficiency?
No. Actually. Let me
ooh,
check.
Yeah, that's actually
I don't think I did.
land vehicles.
Hey!
I cannot drive.
That works. And I mean, honestly, Nicodemus, that makes sense that you are the one who has vehicle proficiency. You're a military person, and I'm sure that you've had to drive many a vehicle through the Isla for various reasons. So Hannah has you check out one of the vehicles, and she looks at the six of you and goes, "All right, you have permission. I've sent out a ping to the front gates to allow you to exit at 10 o'clock at night. So just don't do anything stupid."
Ma'am, just a quick question. Since this may have some adversaries on the inside, would it not be better for us to sign it out under a different name?
I said that you were doing some normal patrolling stuff. This is we have various shifts for calves. We just came back from a big battle. I just made the excuse that the people who normally patrol that area are off duty at this point. So you are simply doing a normal patrol.
Understood.
All right.
I will throw the keys to Ronan. Warm her up. I'll meet y'all out there. And I'm going to go see Miss Fox's brother for just a second.
Yeah. Marcus is currently in the lab.
Sick.
He's always in the lab.
I'm going to walk up to him. Miss Fox, how can I put in a request for a device that stops any sort of recording within a certain radius? Is that something you have on hand or something that I can request special made?
Yeah, I can easily rig something up like that. You just have to put in a request. It'll probably take 48, 72 hours. And he like looks back over his shoulder where you can see like basically like request forms hanging like on a pin board. He's like 72 hours.
I'm going to take a look at that and look back at him. How much to make it a priority? Also, this is for a mission for your sister, top secret. Nobody's to know about it.
Roll a persuasion check. At advantage because you mentioned the sister.
Yeah.
All right.
I know you're super good at those, right?
And a +3.
Oh, we
Hell
persuasive, all right.
17,
Oh,
14 plus 3.
A 17?
Yep.
He takes a pause when you mention his sister and he goes, "You know, man, the best I can do is 24 hours. Some of the parts that I need for that kind of thing, I have to actually, it's magic. Like I have to get those components from the magic people, right? That just doesn't. I can do lots of stuff with metal and gears and springs. Without that magic component, I can't do anything."
Not to worry, 24 hours is just fine. Thank you.
Yeah. And he takes basically the little order form and puts in big red marker for Hannah. Don't fuck it up. And
Awesome.
Great success.
Can you get
Yes.
back? Anastasia's just hanging from the side of the car, doing upside down curls.
What are you doing?
Exercising? You have to stay fit in this line of work.
There's
He's-
whatever.
He's been gone for a minute, so you get it in when you can. That's the secret, you know.
While Ronan was gone, could I have gone over this vehicle?
you're Ronan. He's Nicodemus.
Huh?
Oh, I thought
I
you.
said, oh, whatever. While Nicodemus was gone, Could I? Sorry, I was looking at my spell list at the same time. Could I go over the vehicle, looking to see like if there's what like? I assume there's some kind of tracking on this thing.
Do an investigation check.
I'm assuming anyway, but that's what I'm looking for, especially if it is magical in capacity. I'm not rolling your dice yet because they did bad things for me last week. Hey, here we go. For investigation, that's a 28.
A 28. There is a GPS, controller in the front. But with your mechanical know-how, actually give me. Are you proficient in Tinker's tools?
Yeah.
Give me. What is that? Sleight of hand or?
Why don't you give me whatever stat? Do you want to be rolling it with Dex?
Yeah, basically.
Plus Dex? Okay.
Yeah, it's just like. Go ahead.
I was gonna say my goal isn't necessarily to disable it. I want to see if I can fuck with it to basically alter where it says like how it tracks us. Like I wanted to think, like I wanted to see if I can magically interfere with it so that the GPS is mistaken about our trajectory.
Yeah. Okay. So then I would say using your Tinker tool proficiency, roll Arcana. Does that make sense?
So, proficiency plus N.
Yes.
Okay. Plus 9. Proper. Ooh, way worse. 14.
A 14? So it's more than just magic. So it's a combination of you are able to alter it just enough so that like they're not going to be able to, so if somebody were to check the logs, right, they wouldn't be able to pinpoint exactly where you're at, but it would be a general
they would still have our general, but you know what? Good enough. I mean, we determined that there's probably a mole of some kind. Within, and at the very least, not many people we can trust. So if I can jack up where they might think we are, that by any amount.
For sure.
Two quick questions. What type of vehicle is it, and where is the GPS located?
It's a boat.
It's not a boat. It's basically a Jeep. Like it's a military Jeep.
Gotcha.
It's like a.
That's right.
Very well.
And it's like, one of those little, smart devices in the front, but magically
it's just like
powered.
Right there. Okay.
Yeah, it's right there.
Are you sure that's going to work?
What do you want, huh? I mean, I'm just leaning in and out of the passenger. Like I've got back up over the side, just looking at his like shelf flipped up or whatever, and reaching into the bag of holding that I have installed in him. What do you mean?
What you're
That
doing,
sucker
Jay.
off. Huh?
You could just hit it with a rock.
I'm not trying to break it.
It would be a better cover story.
Would look a little suspicious, wouldn't it?
Also, it would make people want to look at it. Or
Sure.
maybe they might want an alternate way to find out exactly where we had been, more likely to want to know. Whereas if they just think we're not quite where we are going. Anyway.
Okay.
Let's go back to what I'm doing.
Rex is just going to be sitting next to your pangolin, just staring up at it, trying to figure out what it is.
Back up chilling.
I will watch Ronan work while hydrating,
Get that. Then just pop it back together. A bit of a rush job, but better than nothing.
Okay, this is terribly, terribly boring, and I've done my set. Are we leaving?
I imagine so.
God damn it, I said crank up the truck. Why isn't it warmed up yet?
I'm busy doing something.
I don't drive.
Give me the goddamn keys.
Sure. Appreciate it, chauffeur.
Smart man don't know how to crank up a goddamn truck. Get in. Let's go.
Shotgun.
I called shotgun earlier. I'm just mumbling to myself at this point. Oh, I called shotgun. God damn it. Nobody ever
Are you driving?
drive around here. Yes. At the end of last episode, I said shotgun. And I'm ending up driving because nobody else knows how to drive.
Is there a trunk to this thing?
It's a Jeep.
There's a bag. Yeah, you could just sit in the bag.
I'll
Don't
just sit in the
close.
back.
There's a wheel well up under the back.
Backup's just gonna
Don't know what
plow
that
onto
means.
the back. There you go. You see what?
Yeah. Rex and I and my big ass sniper rifle will load into the back of the Jeep.
If Mira can squeeze somewhere inside, preferably, that's what she would do.
I figured since this is supposed to be low key, Nicodemus is not in the full like heroic garb. It's probably just like a black jumpsuit sort of deal, and hopping in probably looks more like a mechanic than anything else at the moment.
Perfect. So, you all end up driving out towards the edge, the southwestern edge of the isla, where there's a bridge, and you approach. Nicodemus, you pull up to basically what looks like one of those little arms for in and out for like secured locations, and somebody walks up to you and goes, "Hey, Nicodemus," and you recognize this to be someone from your old barracks, and she says, "I got the message from Hannah. You guys are doing some extra patrolling."
That's right.
Yep.
All right. And she just waves you on through. No harm, no foul, no suspicion, and you start driving. It's about 10 miles, so it's like a 15-minute drive.
I don't want to put you on the spot for a name, but can I make special note of this soldier's name?
Yeah. Gwen.
Soldier Gwen. That works.
Soldier Gwen. That sounds like a JRPG NPC. Soldier Gwen. Right.
So Gwen, Gwen pulls you through, and it's like a 15-minute drive because there's nobody on the road. You're proficient in vehicles. It's a 10-mile down the main drag, basically. And do you guys have any conversations you want to have, or do you just want to fast track to the crossroads?
Anybody have any goddamn idea what we're looking for?
Any kind of weird, anything weird like magical residue. It'd be real faint right about now because it's been about a year, but it'd be something real easy to just pretend you hadn't noticed if you were in charge of the whole thing. So anything that, if anything, because if they just must have disappeared, it had been some kind of like teleportation or something. Or I guess transmutation. They could have been turned into something else and walked out of here.
Don't crossroads, don't you have to bury something at those?
What the hell are you talking about? That ain't magic.
Yeah,
It's-
you do.
It's a tale that I had heard when I grown up. That all had said you go to crossroads to make some type of agreement or do magic or
You
something.
superstitious bunch, huh?
I mean, everywhere has their own tales and stories, things to keep children in line.
Right.
I always heard the same about crossroads.
There's always an ounce of truth in every story.
Regardless, whatever it is, it should. If something supernatural or otherwise, spirited our compatriots away there, we may be able to find something lingering in the area.
I'm not going to be able to help out with shit regarding magic, so I'll drop off the more
I
arcanely
figured.
inclined in the center where the crossroads are. The rest of us will set up a perimeter. I assume that'll be you three nerds. He'll point at Dr. Kevin and Ronan. I'm dropping off in the center.
Right.
The rest of us can do some real work.
If you can find me a position that overlooks,
I'm looking at
that'd be the best place for me.
Can do.
Dr. Miller's just looking at Nicodemus and mouthing over to whoever's sitting next to him, just real work? Looking?
Like, hey, like I said, he said real work, and Ronan just said, out loud, "What? Looking at dirt? Like, what the fuck you mean? Real work? Whatever." Oh, hold on, let me get tools and stuff.
Standing in a circle and keeping your line straight. Take some concentration, Doctor.
Oh,
so
wow.
don't
Watching your
dismiss.
ass and make sure you don't get caught, busted, or otherwise.
That's what he's for. Pangolin.
I don't know what that dragon's supposed to do.
That is a pangolin, not a dragon. You know, if you'd have fought one earlier today, you'd know the difference. But here we are.
You son of a bitch.
What's your pangolin's name, Ronan?
I say his backup. His backup. Backup's my backup.
Oh,
That's a
that's so
stupid
cute.
name.
Can I pet him?
He is made of metal, but I mean, you do what you want.
You should have come up with something more creative, like Rex.
That's stupid.
So as you guys are having this conversation and you're driving, Nicodemus, you hit a pothole, and it jostles all of you enough that I don't know if it's just fey magic shit or what, but all of a sudden, all of you feel a little funny, thinking that you might be a little bit more resistant to things for a hot minute or so.
Dang it, man, I thought you could drive.
That was a good pothole. I always hit that one coming out here.
That's a good
Out of game. Somebody redeemed a wild magic surge,
Gotcha.
and I rolled on you all have resistance to all damage for the next 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Hell yeah.
So
No, it's this.
I told you it's the good pothole.
that's what that is.
All right, tell me how good it feels. Bang. Oh, bang.
Yeah, so the Nicodemus, you know exactly where this is. This is basically like a yearly field trip for every child of the Isla. And you can't actually drive onto the crossroads because this is now like a national monument type thing. So there's a parking lot that you can pull into, and then it's like, I don't know, a 2-minute walk from the parking lot to basically a little platform overlook to look at this, historic location.
Cool. I will pull the Jeep up into a position that is blocking the entrance to the parking lot. Everybody out. This is where we unload. Anastasia, you'll find some high ground up that way. You can get a decent line of sight, at least on some buildings or something, maybe. I know, I'm just looking at Mira. You can go that way. If you want. I don't know what you want to do. I don't care. I'm gonna hang out in the Jeep.
Rex will accompany you
could
and points at the doctor.
You could always
You're
come
gonna
with us,
hang out-
Nicodemus. You might learn something.
Okay.
I'm good.
He walks-
Thanks.
Hey,
He
you won't
walks
be in the
away.
way. You won't be in the way. It's fine.
Oh, bless him. He won't be in the way, I promise.
You'll be okay. Anyway, then she follows the doctor.
Is this the sort of dog that could take a handle animal check?
It's made out of metal.
I mean, but it's technically your draconic familiar person thing, right?
Are you asking if you could make one on him or if he could make one?
No, if I could make one, just to see if we get along.
That's up to Kylie.
Yeah, go ahead and make it. See if you
Sure.
can make friends
All right,
with
let's
the
go.
metal magic dog.
Lord help us.
Dogs never forget. Make it good.
18,
Hell yeah.
7, so 25. We are best friends.
Yeah. So Anastasia, you look at
He's a good
Mira
boy.
sort of
He's a
do
good
the
boy.
yeah.
He's a
Exact-
good boy. He's a good robot boy.
Oh. Yeah, Mira, you're
Is there?
best friends with this dog now. What, Kevin?
So would it be okay to have Retro have thrown a shovel in the Jeep
Yeah.
to make sure that we have a shovel? Okay. So Kevin would have brought the shovel with her, and she just kind of goes to what she can get. She eyeballs where the very center is, starts digging.
Okay.
Anastasia
If there's
will
anything.
walk to the overlook, and as she leaves, send a command to Rex to remain vigilant.
Oh, okay.
Is it
And
current?
while I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. You're good.
I was just saying the digging is her doing an investigation check.
Perfect. Go
Okay.
ahead and roll that, but hold on to that number for a minute.
There's currently no
Yes,
one
ma'am.
here, right?
It's the middle of the night. There is nobody
Hell
here.
yeah. You're muted, Ian.
You start yelling at people if there was. There was like, hey, there's actually a family of 5. Like, get out of here! Go on somewhere!
Yeah. All right. So Kevin is digging. Mira is friends with the dog. Emmett and Ronan, what are you doing?
Hang on, man. I'm gonna get Carry On out of he gonna come on out the bag of holding.
Okay.
Where he is a little is a little robo lizard. It's a little familiar. He can come out. He got wings though. And kind of the little compartments open up on the back of its legs. Kind of flubs out and wing membranes, everything pop on out. I'm gonna pull out one of my little spell cartridges. I'm gonna give it to him. I'm like, all right, go on, do a little bit of sweep around. I'm gonna cast detect magic through the familiar so it can move the 30-foot radius and start doing a wide circle, I guess not even a circle, but yeah, circle kind of moving smaller and smaller, looking for anything at all.
Okay.
Mira rolled an 11 plus 7, so Mira has an 18 on that handle animal check.
Okay.
Mira would like to accompany the lizard.
Lizard flying.
Are you using one of your wild shapes there, Mira, to fly with the lizard?
Ooh, yes.
He's a little guy. He's relatively speedy.
Hell
It
yeah.
is mechanically it is an owl. So for what that is worth. So he's quiet as well. Quiet little
Just up in
flyer.
the tree. Another one of those things.
He's not a
Yeah,
pangolin, he's just a lizard.
Lizard, pangolin, same thing.
How dare you? I'm just fighting words.
Well, it's a beast I've seen twice before, so I'm gonna go as a raven.
Okay. Beautiful. So, Mira is flying with Carry On up in the sky. We have Kevin digging. Emmett, doing anything particular?
Yeah, I'm going to investigate to see if there are, in particular, kind of any past planar disturbances in the area.
Okay, how are you gonna do that?
A vibe check.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't know if you had a spell or something that you could use. That's fine.
I don't actually have detect magic, so we're just gonna try and.
But don't you have warp sense?
Oh, I do. I think that only works within a certain time span.
Oh,
They double check.
Who knows, man?
yeah.
Technically,
Power it
so
up.
does detect magic, but it's been a year, brother. Anything we cast now, raw, will not detect what happened here. This is narrative shit.
Pretty much. All right. So
I didn't know you had warp sense. That's sick.
what? And can
Let me
can-
double check.
if you have warp sense, go ahead and let me know like what that does exactly, and then we can figure out from there. But the we'll do stuff at the crossroads, and then we'll go to Anastasia and Nicodemus. So, Kevin, what was that? What was that? Investigation check.
It was a 13.
A 13? Okay, so with a 13, like you go to town like digging a hole, and you get probably, I don't know, 2 feet deep, and you realize like anything that would have been present here, like even a year ago, is probably long gone. And anything historical has definitely been removed because you know for a fact that there is a museum of, like, so anything that had been discovered at this place would be probably at the museum. Or at least that's your, as a wizard and as a book knowing person, like that would be your first like gut instinct, that like digging isn't gonna do a whole lot. With that detect magic, I mean, there's face shit. Like,
That's fair.
yeah.
I guess I'm very specifically trying to like piece together I'm looking for anything, like I'm trying to think what all magics are associated with teleportation. I actually don't have any teleportation spells, so I can't quick reference. But same kind of magics that are associated with like minor things, even like such as Misty Step, all the way up to like teleport and plane shift. Like
Yeah.
those kind of magics. I'm looking for any traces of things of that nature.
So you get a sense that like there's not much of any of that. Like your suspicion is like it's been a year, but that detect magic starts to ping off on things that are in your pockets.
What the hell? Rifling around in pockets ensues.
Emmett, what do you have warp sense, and what does it do?
I do not have warp sense.
Okay.
I think I removed that to get something else.
Okay.
So I'll just be doing a general investigation to a vibe check to see if I feel anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
I
go
suppose. That is a 5.
A 5. Emmett, you're old, and you've had a long ass day. You are tired, man.
Bedtime for Grandpa.
It's like it's verging on midnight, and although you're a pretty spry old guy, it's almost midnight, and you fought a dragon.
Listen here.
How old is he again?
I'm only 44.
Did not age gracefully.
I just take it on the shoulder like Yoda. I'll appear feeble and old, and then bust out with all the backflips when you guys least expect it.
For sure. Anastasia, this is not a check you have to make, but you're perched up on sort of a high ground, keeping watch, and you see a raven flying with a mechanical flying lizard, just doing circles around the area, and it is one of those things where it just makes sense, like, but you do feel your puzzle box in whatever pocket that you put it in get a little warm, and so it's same with everybody who has their puzzle box on there, get a little warm.
But
Okay.
puzzle.
And while all of this is happening, we are going to cut to Nicodemus. Nicodemus, you are sitting in a Jeep by yourself.
Yep.
What
Classic
are
horror movie mistake.
you thinking about / doing?
I am going to keep a passive lookout. I don't really think anybody's going to be bothering us. I know this side of town and it's pretty quiet, so I'm going to keep a passive lookout. But I am going to hop on the phone real quick, and call. I'm going to call. There's not many things I can call this person except for my drug dealer, my plug, whatever we want to call it. That's who I'm reaching out to. I'm going to reach out to this person and ask for double the amount that I usually get, and I will retrieve it on my return in here in the next couple of hours or so.
They confirm the order, and they don't say much.
For that second half, I need something special to happen with it. I need you to deliver it to a private Gwen's residence and get one of your rats caught doing it.
They confirm, and again, this person doesn't. They're all business, and the shorter the conversation, the better. Stuff can track conversations quite easily, so.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So.
The intent for them to be caught, and then for Gwen to be dishonorably discharged.
Yeah. You after you finish that phone call, that's when you feel the puzzle box get a little bit warm in your pocket.
I'm gonna get blown up, goddamn. I pull out the puzzle box.
Well, are we on camera? Did he just make that drug deal on camera?
Oh god no. I assume cameras weren't following us out here at this point. If I made a wrong assumption, then I would of course not do that.
You know that you're always being followed by a camera, but you also would have made the assumption that you would have disabled your cameras, whether that was via busting them up like you did earlier today, or basically EMP style knock them out temporarily for the next hour or so.
Spell magic. Spell magic.
We'll talk to the camera crews. Unless you want to replace those like you had to do those other ones, I suggest get those out of here for a little while and see if they just fuck off on their own accord.
Yeah. So whatever route y'all take, you can make the assumption that the cameras that are following you, that normally would be following you, are not following you right now.
Sounds good.
So puzzle boxes. What the hell is going on with this thing?
Yeah, bust them out. Take a look.
If it changed since the last time I looked on it, I would shit my pants. live on Twitch.
I don't
already
have that
did.
kind of magic. I worked really hard on these. There's no way that I could actually functionally change it via remote from my house here.
She said, "Bust out the black light."
Yeah, right.
That would be. Oh my god, that's so smart.
And everybody
thing.
look in your
Hilarious.
left pocket.
You act like I didn't try. I tried some stuff out and it did not work. So we went with the iteration that y'all have.
All right.
Hell yeah.
So the when you open it up all the way,
Yep.
you all see that there's a poem that you all know, that you all have recited from heart.
Yep.
But for each of you, a different section is lit up. So, for Mira, the top one is lit up. For Anastasia, the most left one is lit up. For Ronan, the middle one is lit up. For Miss Stacy, the right one is lit up, or not Miss Stacy, Kevin. And then for Emmett, the bottom one is lit up. And then Nicodemus, yours isn't lit up, and none of them are lit up, but you get a sense of, sort of the encapsulation of this, which is the last stanza of the poem that is not written on here. Do you need me to resend that to you, or do you?
I got it.
Okay. I figured you did. I just wanted to make sure. And you feel something very magical compelling you.
We're getting kidnapped.
No.
Oh.
To read each verse. So.
Does that mean I'm reading it as a raven?
I mean,
Yeah,
If-
you're the
if
best
I
raven.
I mean,
Off the Raven. Oh, shit.
you know, like if I feel like in order for you'd have to like come down. Like, so how long does detect magic last? It's like a minute or something.
1 or 10 minutes. Let me double check.
I think it's 10.
It is
Concentration an hour, 10 minutes to cast ritually, right?
yeah, concentration of 10 minutes.
Oh,
Okay.
recycle a 10 minutes catch.
So after about 10 minutes, Mira, the carry-on would have had to like land because
Alright.
the magic was done.
Cool beans.
So you're welcome to get out of your raven form or just I don't know, squawk at everybody.
And
That
speak,
would-
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna be flashy about it, even though there are no cameras here. Probably because there are no cameras here. I'm gonna like circle and do like like the initial descent thing that planes do. And when I'm closer to the ground, I'm gonna like change back into a human as I land and like not break my stride, like keep walking towards where everyone else is.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm reading,
Yeah, just the top portion.
starting with the word 6.
Correct.
6 were at the Carrefour, silver twilight in the distance. Reinforcements were no more. This would be the last resistance.
And so they hugged and said goodbyes. The lighthouse had to be protected. They were prepared to lay down their lives, unsure how all of this was connected.
Still, they waited all the same. Rows of ruin were at a hush. Within the sky burst open a flame. They did not breathe. They did not rush.
6 were at the Carrefour, a horde of monsters in the distance. Reinforcements were no more. They would be the last resistance.
Right there, Kent.
Armed with courage and magic true, they faced the screeching wave. 6 were felled, but with those few that oh my god, his people did save. They did save.
And then Nicodemus, you have the last.
Okay.
Very last.
6 died at the Carrefour, smoking fire in the distance. The lighthouse still stands forevermore. Amica remembers them for their resistance.
And as soon as Nicodemus finishes reading that, and y'all didn't, he's far away, and so is Anastasia, but your puzzle boxes, which are more than just what they are, all light up. And a encoded message plays for all of you. And it says, to complete the mission, to finish the do, you must find the 6 pieces that were stolen. only then will you be able to save the world.
I am immediately racking my brain for any stories or any legends of 6 pieces of anything of significance.
Yeah. Roll a history check with advantage because of your.
Dang old
Amethyst.
history, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Son of a fucker. 11.
11.
11. Can't fucking think of anything.
There's-
6
it's-
pieces of fucking.
It's right there on the edge of your memory, but you just don't have it right now. Like maybe if you think on it a little bit longer, but right now it's like when you have a word on the tip of your tongue and you're just like, what the fuck is it?
I knew we should have taken guidance.
Anybody else can also roll a history check on this.
This might have been a question I already asked before, but whenever creatures kind of come to our plane, in this universe, are there separate individual planes that these entities come from, or is it just sort of from outside?
Canonically, there is it is this side and the other side. So the other side could be multiple planes, but as far as you know, it's just the other side.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
Anastasia, you spent time through a rift for a number of months. And it's still a little foggy for you. But there was an individual you were staying with who took care of you, protected you from the monsters of the other side for all intent and purpose. And you vaguely remember hearing them talk about some artifacts from before the ruin that were incredibly powerful and that were currently missing. And how and you were overhearing this like sort of in a sleepy daze because you had been like pretty critically injured when you ended up through there. And so you're not 100% sure all of the things, but you do remember them talking about how some really important artifacts were missing and everybody in that location were pretty worried about it. Anybody else rolled a history check? Or would like to roll a history check?
At 14, so
14?
I only got a 10.
10?
I got
18.
a 9.
9? 18? So basically anybody who rolled over a 10, so 10 and over, you know kind of vaguely that in order to defeat the monsters, each of the like original 6 had an incredibly powerful like weapon. Like they themselves were incredibly powerful, the most powerful fighters, which is why they were sort of the 300. They were 300ing themselves at the crossroads, basically. But you knew that there was a little bit of something extra that also allowed for them to be successful. Everything was super vague. Like they never went out and said, yes, there's a magical artifact that each of these people used. but you get the sense that might be what it's referring to.
But yeah, that makes sense. Jesus.
Do we have any like communicators for like the squad?
Everybody has a communicator that's kind of basically ingrained into their wrists.
Anastasia will just tap it twice, but not speak into it.
You need something?
I thought we had gone over this. This is supposed to be the signal for you to come to my position. You know,
I have no recollection, no.
did you read the handbook that I gave all of you?
No, no. I have better shit to do.
Come to my position, please.
What goddamn button did y'all push to set this thing off? He said, holding the puzzle box in the air.
It's glowing. What's happening?
Where's the button at?
There's no button. Alright, well, I suppose we'll walk on over. Hmm.
Is that for everybody? Or just Ronan?
Yeah, well, you want everybody to come over there? What's going on?
I'm going to assume that none of you read. Yes, I want all of you
There
to
you go,
come to
answer
my
that
position.
question.
You sent me a
Okay.
manual.
Yeah, I do not recall.
Was that an
Yeah,
I
email?
haven't
Was
really
that an
unpacked
email?
yet, so
I don't check my emails. That inbox has so many.
it's like Ronan's red circle is an oblong. It's like in the thousands.
Art imitates life.
I look forward to the next 9 years with all of you.
Sure.
I can't read something I never received. So, how did you send it? Later. What's the purpose? Why do you need us here?
Yeah. What's up? What's up?
She's gonna relay everything that she had figured out, recalling. I figured this would be more of an appropriate venue rather than through the communicators that could be monitored. I mean, they could be actively listening right now, but
That's correct.
Agreed. We may want to think about only using those communicators or only doing out loud stuff when we don't mind if it's overheard or broadcast.
I don't know sign language.
also in the book.
That's not a pamphlet.
Kevin, could you mind creating a link between us so that we could speak freely without anyone dropping eaves on us?
Sure. She'll like drop into a cross-legged position into dirt.
I don't know who'd ever do that. Best.
It's going to take about 10 minutes. So.
That's okay. I've got plenty of time.
I don't know
Rex
about that
will,
one.
will circle the area.
I'm IRL puzzling over this. I'm like, they said pieces, but these were, if they were individual weapons, what that mean? Pieces. How each weapon a piece. They morph together like a goddamn Power Ranger weapon. Like,
Kevin will
that'd be
open
kinda
one eye.
cool.
Do we know what the weapons were? Then go back to.
Not specifically.
I bet you one was a staff. Cause she's a wizard or whatever. Maybe wand, something like that.
I mean, we probably all know who the six are, but like, I wonder what type of weapon Thor used, right?
I think Yeah, I got nothing. I thought I had a joke there, and I just
Were there
it did not come to me.
were the statues in the Hall of Heroes, were they sculpted with these pieces, with these weapons?
You would make the assumption, yeah. So, and this would be common knowledge for all of you, so I'll just give you this information. So, Aurora, who was originally from Newfie, is mechanically a wizard. And had a staff. Claudia Sanchez was from Zona, and she had a great sword. She was mechanically a fighter. Galwin Litton was from the Isla, and he was a cleric.
Okay.
Anik Pak was from Antio, and they were a bard, and played like a traditional hand drum.
Nice.
Reason Redmond was from Nevta, and he used he was a ranger and used a longbow. And then Grayson Meyer was from West by God, and he was a warlock, and his packed weapon was just a big ol' two short swords that lit up. So.
What was the cleric's weapon? Litton?
Yep.
What was I heard you say that they were cleric. What was their weapon of choice?
They had just a holy symbol, and so
okay, it's just a holy symbol.
Yeah.
Do we
They
know
weren't
what
much of a
entity?
You don't know, because things were really weird and wonky back then. Because, yeah, Chris, it's like there was, like, at the time, they had.
That's fair.
The knowledge of only so much information.
Of unknown divinity.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So we had Aurora with magic staff, Claudia with a great sword, Litton with their holy symbol of unknown divinity, Pock with a hand drum, Redmond with a longbow, and Meyer with dual short swords that glowed. Interesting. 1,000 palms.
Yeah. So you would know, just again, as growing up as children in Amica, that was that information.
I see. God, Jesus. All right. I am not seeing how those fit together. Maybe there's something. Maybe they were each of those weapons was constructed with a piece of something, and that's what it's talking about.
Is the link established? Is this how we're communicating?
I'm rubber ducking.
Can you hear
to my
me now?
lizard. Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's perfect.
Awesome.
Anastasia will sigh out loud and begin communicating with you all telepathically, which you will hear a very different voice than the one that you typically hear, the almost absolutely no accent, almost always calm voice is replaced with a deeply southern accented woman. Hello, y'all. Can you hear me?
We've been hacked.
Oh, you're one of them fancy Southern folk.
I'm not sure what you all talking about.
Yeah,
This is Anastasia.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Sure.
Go
Sound
ahead.
better in your head.
Hello,
Just-
Anastasia.
Oh, So, I mean, and she'll go over everything she's again. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what that means for all of us.
Well, does anyone know where these weapons are? I mean, if they're legendary weapons, obviously they would have gone on someplace, right? Or there would be accountings of them being entirely destroyed.
Or buried with them.
Or buried with them, correct?
I suppose that's true.
I don't know. I
Where's
rolled
the
a 10 on
cemetery?
a history check.
Only got 11, so.
Perhaps we can
I mean, I got natural
let
20.
the
so-
remains of our ancestors rest, if that is
Well,
what you
well.
intend.
Why?
I mean,
I kind of feel like if they died to try and save the world and the battle
Yeah,
wasn't
man.
done, they wouldn't really care about their bones being disturbed if it meant saving everyone that they died to protect.
also they're dead, so.
Bones don't care.
All right, that looks like 4 for desecrate
Desecrating
corpses.
the bones of our ancestors.
I mean,
What-
assuming we
what's-
have. Is that where we believe they are?
We
I don't-
don't know that they are buried with any of these weapons. They could have
Perhaps
exploded.
that can be a last resort.
Unless we know for sure. And then shovels out.
I mean, what are we planning on doing with those bones? Nothing. We just want the weapons. We're not going to do anything to the
Leave the bones
bones.
alone.
I don't know what y'all are thinking. I'm not desecrating. I just
They're-
want weapons. And
They're all in their grave holding their weapons, and instead of respectfully
Break the
pulling
fingers.
them out, they're just gonna smash those fucking fingers to bits.
I
Somebody
mean,
bring the hammer.
stir the bones around.
I might take one.
Well,
or two.
I mean,
they don't need a finger bone.
Like, are they buried underground, or are they like in a mausoleum or something where we can just pull them out and see if it's in the drawer
It-
or
like-
what?
Right, and the tales of the great heroes. I mean, do we know if there were ever any remains? Did they explode into a supernova
true.
or anything like that? Was there any
That
type
day.
of funerals?
Like, what were their burial traditions? Like, if they put them in a boat and set them on fire like Vikings afterwards,
Aurora's not dead, so
Maybe.
true,
we think. Hypothetically,
perhaps.
Aurora is alive. I mean that Aurora lady. I mean she's alive-ish, assuming.
One less body to desecrate, for which I am grateful.
I have a potential
I don't know what
solution.
she's so on about desecrating bodies. I mean they're just bones and shit.
Yes.
Should any of you religious folk are you able to speak with the deceased? Okay.
Well, you asking if somebody around here knows how to cast speak with dead? Is that what you're asking?
Which
I mean, just
religious?
If that's what
Come
that's
straight
called.
at it.
No. I try to keep
No.
people alive before they get to that point.
That is
Okay,
really my
well.
specialty now.
I can contact another plane. Would that be helpful?
Is hell or heaven a different plane? Look,
guess
I
it
don't know where
depends
they
on
ended
your
up.
I don't know.
Depends
beliefs.
who you ask.
I don't know. I mean,
Some
that's
people
as
say
good
it's
an
all about the
option or
same.
explanation as any. I mean,
We'll
Just
put
thought-
that as an option.
Would anyone have an ability that might be able to travel great distances to contact someone that would be on the material plane, perchance?
You mean like a
No.
teleportation spell?
No, I mean like
Oh.
a spell like sending.
You said travel, so
The message travel.
no, I can't do that. No,
Look
Okay.
at these two.
that's
they
more
know the magic.
localized kinds of magics.
Kevin's flipping through a little book.
Wait.
She's like, wait.
Wait, what?
Hang on, maybe
What's it-
that sounds familiar. I
What's
think
it-
I was supposed to learn that. I do.
I slept through that class. I
Oh
was in
no,
school. My bad.
I only have message. I don't have.
No sending?
What do you
No.
cast
I do
message?
not.
Cat's message. You're just Dragon Ball Z charging up a message to try and shoot across.
You have like 50 wires just in a bundle. It's more powerful the more wires there are.
I mean, technically, you can call people with your communication devices.
Oh, do those work outside of the island?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know that part of it.
Yeah, treat them like smart watches.
That are attached to you.
Correct.
So maybe we should call Hannah and ask her where the weapons are, since she's been working on this for a long time.
But it might be bugged. And then we're given that answer to whoever may be listening in on to us.
We can always ask when we get back. I don't know how much more we're going to accomplish out here.
If you don't think Hannah's had her line encrypted, then I think you're underestimating her.
I mean, that is absolutely true that Miss Hannah would, but we can't be sure that the person who might be doing the encryptions might be the person who's our mole. We have to assume everybody's a mole,
hold on,
even her brother.
Let's see how hard it'd be in the first place. And I'm going to flip my wrist over. I'm going to cast Mage Hand to replace the wrist I'm working on. I'm going to see how hard it would be to bug or encrypt one of these things. I see, how hard it is to jack with it.
While he does that, I feel like she seems sufficiently paranoid that if she thought she was going to be overheard, she'd just not give us the answer.
I mean, you can roll a sleight of hand to see if you can, actually physically mess with it.
I haven't been tinker with it, to tamper with it, period. Mechanically or with artifice, or I guess even just magically. If somebody was going to have done it, I would assume it would be the people who made them.
Yeah. Go ahead and whatever skill you want to roll, go ahead and roll and just tell me what it is.
Really? 17
total.
Yeah.
You look at this as it is attached to your wrist, and you realize that if anybody does really try to mess with it, they would have to be incredibly powerful, magic users. You would have needed at least a 25 in order to even just slightly tamper with it.
If there was somebody who actually managed to fuck with these outside their initial construction, it'd take someone damn good at it or powerful. So either a really skilled artificer or a really powerful spellcaster.
You guys
solid.
Hear a little bit of an echo, kind of like when you have two speakers going on the same thing. And Kevin's like, "Hey, Hannah, hey, it's Kevin. Look, we got a question."
Suppose that works.
About 30 seconds later, you hear on Kevin's communication device, "This is Hannah. Over."
Hey, we have a question. Can we ask it over these communicators? Or should we debrief when we get back?
Our line of communication is clear and good, but I would prefer in person.
Okay, roger that. See you in a minute. And Kevin starts walking toward the truck, or the Jeep, or whatever it is, our vehicle.
Nicodemus, do you have a cigarette?
He holds out a pack.
She steps 30 feet away. Can you light it for me?
Can I light it for you?
Mm-hmm.
From 30 feet away?
Well, I mean, he still has the cigarette.
Oh.
Sure. I mean, I'll summon the spear, and tip of it blazing on fire, I'll light it.
Curious what's going on here.
Thank you. She comes back and smokes a cigarette. Would
Uh-huh.
you this is a Kylie question. Would you characterize the ember at the end of the cigarette as a magical flame because it was from the spear?
I guess. Sure. Let's call it a yes.
Magic cigarette.
Cool.
It's a magic cherry.
Magic cigarette still in the pack. Make sure you don't grab that one.
I down one.
Oh.
I wasn't planning on it. I appreciate you, and I just don't have a match on me.
Uh-huh.
Girls got to travel light, you know.
Right. All right, load up. We need to get out of here.
No, at all.
Shotgun.
DM, what is the cooldown on that message Emmett was able to send earlier today? Is there any way I could follow those? Like, hey, any info on that?
I mean, it's I would say that it's like basically a short rest, like for every, especially to communicate with your folks. You can probably like it re-ups at a short rest. So
Yeah.
you've had a short rest. So
I'm like, wait 1 second. Just kind of walk away, a little rock. So this is Emmett. Is there any update on our friend who spoke with me very, very early this morning?
hi, Emmett. The news is not something that we would like to provide, due to the fact that it is bad and looks bad for our court.
Goddamn fairies. Ain't no fairies.
Can I respond, or is this just
Yeah.
okay?
This is basically a phone call.
Okay. I completely understand that. But she's not stopping time to speak with you, with all due respect. And she says she's trying to save the world. So I feel like it would be in everyone's vested interest to figure out what exactly is going on and be a little bit more free flowing with knowledge that could help everyone.
Emmett, we do understand that, but you also understand the limits on our ability to share things, and due to the fact that you are technically off of Newfie, we know that you are bound not to say anything, but in order for you to receive the rest of this information, you do have to come home.
Okay.
There are ways that we can bring you home. We can request your group to come to St. Fee for an incursion. But then you would also have to get everybody to agree to getting...
Right. I don't know if they'd go for that.
I will come up with a different way, but that may take some time. As you know, agreements and the truth are in place.
Okay. I'll see about taking a nice trip. Could use some cold air.
Have a good night, Emmett.
Same to you.
Can I roll for eavesdropping? Since the telepathic bond is still up.
It's a sending stone.
I know, but
So he could drop eaves with your earballs.
Yeah, I mean, if
you
you
didn't think about any of the messages that you were sending or getting.
No, he was call. It was a phone call, Kevin.
Yeah.
Basically. So if you wanted
Okay.
to, was a stealth? Yeah. Why don't you roll a stealth check to see how? First,
How
if yeah, how sneaky
13.
you are.
Is that a 13 with a dex, or what is the modifier for that?
Oh, that just hurts my feelings after Pip. It's a 12. Just a 12.
Okay.
Do I add intelligence, wisdom, dexterity
For
for a mental stealth? I don't know what that is.
Or
just whispering, just regular dex or something.
Well, I feel like since you were just talking, with a 12, you could see that Kevin was kind of following you, so you could be far enough ahead of her to just be out of earshot. So you're just basically on a walk and talk,
right?
And just far enough outside of Kevin's hearing to.
Gotcha.
Because you could see her trying to listen in. Yeah,
and she wouldn't work too hard. She would have just, when it didn't work, she'd have got back in the.
But so I noticed that.
Yeah, you noticed that Kevin was trying to follow you. God.
When we get back, Anastasia will break off from the group before the meeting with Hannah to go to her room for a moment to call her second sponsors.
So I will say that in order to do that, you'd have to pass through the briefing room because the so like you would have to literally pass by Hannah, tell her to wait, which I don't know if you'd want to, but you could try a persuasion roll on that.
You give me like 5 minutes.
But before you do that, is there anything anybody wants to do between the crossroads and the lighthouse, just as a quick?
Oh man. Oh golly.
Yeah, I will be completely open as I can with my homies. So I just made a phone call back home. They do have some information, but the methods in which that they can send it, they don't feel secure with. So to get more information, I would need to come back home. An invitation has been extended to you all, though it is not without strings attached to it.
Define strings.
Yes.
Maybe some blocks on your will to divulge information. Maybe.
Oh. I see.
Well,
Yeah, that's not real shit.
So we're going to go on an intelligence gathering mission, if I'm getting this right. And
Your favorite,
when we
I'm sure.
we're not going to be able to divulge some of the intelligence that we've gathered.
That's what that sounds like. Yep.
You guys could just hang out at the dock and I could go get all of the intelligence needed.
That you couldn't tell us about.
I'm gonna look straight at him and say, does that mean...
Hold up, the tattoo. Could I tell you if it was?
Seems not.
Interesting.
Anastasia kind of like goblin crawls over the back seat to look at your tattoo. She's very teensy. She's 4 foot tall. So
you said this is only about a 15-minute drive, right? Okay, that's not bad. So kind of as we're loading up, just on the off chance, I'm feeling paranoid. As we get, I'm gonna flick the cap off another one of my little spell cartridges, and cast See Invisibility. The eye with the runes tattooed under him will kind of begin to shimmer like a silvery green.
Yeah. There isn't anything invisible on the road back to the Isla. But as you approach, there's like a bridge. There's like a drawbridge looking thing. Not looking thing. It is the drawbridge that connects the mainland to the Isla. You do see some like basically invisible cameras that are posted strategically. but you could have guessed that was something like that was there, with the amount of security there is. So those are the only invisible things that your spell detects.
Okay, I've got it going for an hour, so
yeah,
I just wanted to for keep an eye out for things that like are invisible, and I'm like, oh, that shouldn't be there.
Right.
That does strike me as odd.
But when you guys do look at Emmett's tattoo for a seemingly mild-mannered old man, he does have multiple tattoos on his forearms.
You got to tell me where to get those.
You're
my
muted.
follow-
Mira, you're muted.
Mira's looking specifically on your
Yeah.
wrist to see if you have the same one that the elder had.
Yep.
Got it.
Little lotus.
I don't know what that means.
Mira's mind is made up. Mira wants to go.
That was fast.
As long as you
Miss
can tell me.
Fox got one too.
Hannah
Oh,
Fox does have one.
The
She literally pointed it at us like an hour and a half ago. So yeah.
oh, I mean, as long as there's no nothing that could damage my relationship with my sponsors.
Well, it's not like you
we
could
all-
tell them even if he did.
That's part I don't like. I do not like the idea of being stuck under any kind of magical compulsion.
I mean, if you
We
told
all, sorry.
if you told me you were intending to attack them, then I mean, that would be potentially damaging. So
Huh.
I do what I could to tell them.
I've just
We
been
all have the
hypotheticals,
tattoo,
That's
can we-
all.
Can we talk to each other about it? Or is it that you just can't discuss it at all?
I think it's just a popular tattoo from my homeland.
Why are if you can't tell the truth, why make up bullshit? Thank you.
If you're not going to say anything relevant, why speak?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Anastasia just pokes you in the forehead and then crawls back into the into the trunk.
So as this
Spider.
is all happening, you go through the gate. Gwen sort of waves y'all through, and you end up back at the lighthouse. So, you park in the bay. You return the keys. Anastasia, do you actually legitimately try to convince Hannah? Roll a persuasion check, because
I just need 5 minutes.
Where are you going?
roll a persuasion check because
21.
Pretty good. That's
Can
a perception check.
My bad.
Can I
rolled a
give
10? 19.
That's still pretty good.
can I give her advantage?
go ahead and give advantage, but you were looking at you're wanting to hit a 25 on this.
Damn.
25. I'm kidding. No. Dirty 20.
I will
It's
just
really
simply say chorizos are known to give lots of stomach upsets.
What?
That's what she was eating last session. She was handing around all over the place.
She brought gumbo from Mama's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very hot.
Yeah.
She's gonna go.
Hannah will
5
look and
minutes.
goes, it's just a quick rundown. What did you guys find, if anything?
You start glowing. By any chance, in the last 45 minutes?
No.
We went to the crossroads. The messages in our pockets lit up, and then we received further informations from a magical effect that was inside the puzzle boxes themselves that said that we needed to find what we believe to be the weapons or implements of the original 6.
It did say the 6 missing pieces, I believe was the wording.
Interesting.
It could have been people.
Well, I'm sure that there's information about the 6 in terms of like their weapons and their components and like the lighthouse's library is deep of information. It's a wellspring. I think that if you spent some time, you might be able to find something. I don't know.
Doesn't ring a bell off the top of your head. Nothing
I
about why they'd
mean,
be referred to as pieces anyway, instead of as, I mean, they're individual objects, best we know, right?
Hannah looks at you again, Ronan, and says, I ain't a book person.
You've
Ronan.
been here a lot longer than me.
I didn't think to look for that information. I've been trying to keep all of you alive. Book reading was not a priority.
Sure.
We might need to take a trip to Newfie.
What?
They'd have to call for a team for an assist. But if they do, I can put you down as the group to go.
Perfect.
I would also like to say, I mean, there's still the whole thing where this shit says, look to the Lost Land. So, still a big era. That away to the west.
I have a phone call with Martha Alcott tomorrow in the morning in a couple of hours. And she looks down at her watch and says, I can bring it up again. Maybe because it's been a year, she's less inclined to blow me off.
You can always frame it as, how much do we know about what's going on over there? Perhaps just like an expeditionary force. So just take a peek.
I can try.
Would it be out of place for me to drop Eves on this phone call?
Well, all conversations between myself and Martha are recorded for Lighthouse records, so you're welcome to review that.
Perfect.
Matt?
Have you ever known any records to be damaged or incomplete or otherwise tampered with in the past?
Not anything that is recorded by myself. Things in other capacities, maybe, but I have a brother who's very smart and has sort of reinforced my recording systems.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, in the meantime, I suppose we'll see what there's to see.
All right. Well, soldiers, you're all dismissed unless you have something specific to tell me. Go get some rest.
I'm made that was the thing I was gonna go do. But if I do, I'll come find you.
Okay.
Huh.
Awesome. And I think with that, this feels like a good point to take a quick break.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, friends.
Boy,
so,
howdy.
Hell yeah.
don't go very far. Go take a quick bio break, eat a snack, drink some water. We will be back in 5 to 10-ish minutes. So, don't go anywhere.
Drink water or else.
Yeah, drink water. Bye.
But
Welcome back, everyone. You don't want to know what the weird-ass conversation we were just having because it was weird. So I'm going to just jump right into a recap of the first half of this. We met our heroes after the conversation of a debrief with Hannah Fox, who is the armorer for the lighthouse, and she sent them on a little mission out to the crossroads, the historic crossroads, where a poem that everybody knew indicates where the last stand of the historic 6 supposedly died defending all of Amica and the Isla, which is, heroic shit. When they got there, though, some magical shit happened with their puzzle boxes, and everybody read a part of the puzzle, or a part of the poem that was in the puzzle, I should say, and they got a message that some things were missing, important things, and now they have to figure out what that means and where they are and how they're going to save the world. After that happened, Emmett called his contact in Newfie, and they all got an invitation to visit Newfie. They got back to the lighthouse where they turned in their truck and presumably are going to bed, but we can see what happens. There's so much stuff going on in the chat, and I cannot focus. Sweet.
This is a test. This is a test of your will as a DM.
Because you all are chaos goblins.
I'm calling my number one sponsor.
All right.
God.
No, it's actually not my number one sponsor. It's my number two sponsor.
All right.
The folk on the moon.
Okay.
What? Call Neil Armstrong?
Specifically asking them about if they know about anything or have heard anything about the location of any of the weapons of the six.
You get a ping. That kind of communication takes a while. So you send out a message, and probably an hour or so later, you get a correspondence from your contact. And they go, we have been detecting some weird magical interference across Amica. We couldn't really tell you what it is. The context that you've given us makes sense. But all we're detecting is that there's some magical disturbances.
Okay. Anastasia will just text Hannah a simple no.
She basically emojis you a thumbs up. Anything else? Is anybody going to bed? Like, it is probably at this point 12:30 at night.
That's it.
Mira's taking a nap. Beautiful. Anybody else?
Nicodemus passing through the barracks, going to his room, shut, lock the door, hop on his communicator, send out a message, and after he does that, he'll check with his dealer, make sure the drop off to Soldier Gwyn is either scheduled or planned for tonight to happen, so he can check on the dishonorable discharge tomorrow. And then he will open up his own stash, get incredibly high, and probably pass out.
Okay. Your dealer confirms with you that it's in the works, and you pass out. Anybody else?
Kevin would have gone straight back to her room and dug around in one of the boxes, and there were would have brought out, little mini potted cacti, right? Like a little cacti in each pot. And there are 5, right? And so she casts light on each of them, and they each kind of glow a different colors with their little spines, really glowing. And she goes to the end of the hall and puts one outside of each of her cohort's door and kind of knocks and then moves on and then is back in her room before she goes to bed.
There's something hung on our door?
It's a little cactus in a little pot, and she casts light on it, so everybody's glow's a different color, and she just put one outside of everybody's door. So everybody just got a cactus.
I feel like as soon as you knock, Nicodemus opens his door. Almost immediately.
Whoa!
Boy.
Walking on down.
What is this?
It's a cactus.
Okay, why are you
It's a
giving
gift.
it
Don't
to
take
me?
it so serious. It's a gift. Don't take it so hard.
What is your deal, Carter?
I don't have a deal. Leto.
Very well. He takes it from you.
Okay. She goes to her room and goes to bed.
Y'all out here going to sleep? We don't have answers? What's wrong with all of you?
I'm afraid that we have to wake up. Do we have to get up early in the morning? Like, are there hours? Do we have a schedule?
You are muted, Donjon Master Storyteller.
Thank you kindly. Usually you would have to be up at about 6:30 to get ready for your patrolling shift, but after so at least that's currently, because so there's different patrolling schedules. Because y'all are newbies, you get the early schedule, but as you go up in rank and in popularity, that might change. So but currently y'all get the short end of the stick because you're the newest. But you do know that after all calls like this, everybody gets basically the day off. So the morning shift doesn't happen, but there is like an afternoon shift that folks do go out because things still need to get patrolled because there are still monsters, even if they're just pests.
So yeah, in that case, Kevin would definitely go right to bed with an aim to be up like 6:30, right? You know, the earliest she can get up and get a long rest and like grab breakfast and head to the library first thing.
Perfect.
Okay. I'm not going to bed yet.
Okay.
Emmett will go to bed, and whenever he finds the cactus outside of his door, he will take it back inside, pop open a scalpel, dissect it, then heal it. Since he notices there isn't any type of magical tampering or dropping eaves on it, and put it in his windowsill.
Anastasia will put it in the first room of the airlock and requisition a grow light for it.
Okay. All right, Ronan, you said that you. Oh, Mira, go ahead.
I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Mira. I don't know how.
Okay.
It's gonna take.
Mira's gonna open up the door and then realize it's there, pick it up, inspect it a little bit, and then put it, like, make a little desk by her window and put the moose next to the little cactus, their little collection of like little happy things.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Ronan gonna go back to the library.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is Ian being hyper paranoid or Ronan being hyper paranoid or not, but I can't help but feel like the longer other people have to work against us within the tower, the less likely we are to find information we need here. So I'm gonna go back to the library, and I'm gonna take another. I can actually have quite a few hours, I suppose, but at least 2. I'm gonna take a couple more of my little spell canisters. Pop one as that magic flows out and goes into the like couple of discs that are fused to like his spine going down between his shoulder blades. And I'm gonna cast enhance ability for intelligence.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do a little more research for the night, looking specifically for more references, like any information that has to do with like what happened to the 6 after they died, and specifically their weapons. Special attention to what is reported about Aurora and her death, since apparently she is not. So I don't know if she actually has a physical form or if she's just like existing as some kind of spirit now. And any and all information that that is possessed about the Lost Lands.
Okay. I do want to remind you of your country's secret.
Yep.
You can get connected with them, and
I'd probably send something out before I started looking, but like might as well 2-for-1 special.
Yep. Okay.
Like send some like encoded message, probably in some like functionality of backup, and like flip up one of his scales.
Mm-hmm.
Send that off, and
okay.
I'll check that before I go to bed.
Okay, so go ahead and roll with advantage a history check. Or investigation, I guess. Whatever one you want to do.
Gotcha. Wow, balls. Okay, well that's better than a 3. 17.
17. All right. With a 17, I'll let you choose the thing that you sort of rabbit hole down. You can either choose to look at information about what is known about the Last Stand with the 6, or you can learn more about Aurora.
I'd say Aurora is the bigger mystery to me, and being able to know more about her without having to get it from Newfie would be ideal.
Yeah, so...
I don't trust y'all, you weirdos.
You know that Aurora, or based off of that 17, because it's only a 17, so... What you know based off all the books and the like, you even find some like letters between her and the other 6. Like this is you're doing like actual historical like archival shit right now. Aurora was from Newfie. She was a very powerful wizard, and her big thing, she was Fae, but they don't really talk about it that way. But you get a sense of like she is from basically what we would call the Feywild. She really was working hard on finding a way to lock away the rifts so that no more monsters would pour through. And she was worried all the time that there was somebody working against them to basically break open the world. Like that was her like underlined in a couple of her letters to Reason Redmond, that like somebody's trying to break the world like multiple times. Somebody's animal companion is not happy with what's going on in the world.
I sympathize.
Okay. I'm sorry, friends. That's my dog in the background, if anybody cares.
And I know that you said it was the Last Stand or Aurora. Since this is specifically about Aurora, is there anything that stands out about her death specifically about her? Is anything odd about the report, how her death was reported?
I mean, in the record regarding their deaths in general. I'll give you this piece. That it basically, what you see at the crossroads is them, they filled in a crater. Like, it was a crater. So the assumption was that they literally fought to the death, and that some sort of flash of magic happened. That incinerated not just them, but, you know, all the hordes of monsters coming down the aisle, or down the road. But again, you know, that's just the quick and dirty explanation that historically y'all get.
Fair enough. So I'd have spent 2 hours and 2 spell slots worth of enhanceability to find all that I could.
Mhm.
And I would trek back on to my room, very mentally exhausted, I imagine. I figure that's a fair amount of strain.
For sure.
Just tired. Random cactus. Stare at it for a few seconds. Pop open the back of backup, chuck it in the bag of holding, and slam it shut and go to bed.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, you're all asleep. Whether or not you have your television on in your room, or it's sort of set for pop-up news things on your communicators, you hear the voice of, and Nicodemus, you would recognize this voice immediately because you're from the Isla. You hear, "Good morning, citizens of the Isla and the republics of Amica. I'm Cassandra Drew with your Amica News Now. Top story this morning, the lighthouse had to send out its full cavalry, including its new members, yesterday morning. A highly unusual turn of events, seeing as we haven't even had the chance to get to know them properly. A situation I promise to remedy tonight. I know that many of you wish to get to know these new representatives, seeing as some of them are right now our top favorites. I'll kick it over to Rex Style for those numbers in a minute. As a sneak peek, I will send you over to Rex Style to update you with this week's ranks and give you a sneak peek into those new heroes. Over to you, Rex. And it, like, whether you're watching it or you're listening to it, a male voice comes on and goes, "Well, thank you, true Cassandra. I do appreciate that. So right now, the top of the leaderboards, as always, is our favorite, Emmy Sassaka. She is our born and bred here in the Isla. But sneaking right into second is our new Dr. Emmett. He's breaking hearts and taking names.
God damn it!
What the fuck do you mean?
Next, we have Amanda Gallagher from West by God. She's doing some pretty interesting stuff. And then next, we have our very own Nicodemus and Kevin from Zona. And on and on and on and on down the line. And he goes, "Sending it back to you, Cassandra. We sure hope to hear from those interviews later tonight from our brand new heroes." Thank you, Rex. I do appreciate that. You all have a bright, cheery morning. Bye.
Y'all hear things break.
Oh no. Just muffled into a pillow.
So,
Fucking doors slamming, pans banging around as 12 eggs go into a pan.
12 in a pan.
about 30 minutes later, Nicodemus, you get a phone call.
Nicodemus,
Hi there, Pumpkin.
I go back to my room real quick.
It's your mom.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been such a good boy. I saw all of the good work you did out in West by God yesterday. I am sure proud of you.
Thank you. All for the Isla.
I do love that hard work you do. Now, be a good boy and tell me what's been happening since I don't get to see you very often anymore.
I left a message last night. It was late with one of your assistants, but not much on the front of what we're doing right now. A lot of it's for Hannah Fox at the moment, and we're gonna be looking into some strange appearances, some sort of illusion with Aurora, something like that. We're looking into it. I wish I had more information to give you. Right now, I don't.
I understand. Now, do me a favor. Hannah Fox is such a hardworking darling of the Isla, but she is very closed off. Maybe you should befriend her. She's been here for a very long time. You should get close to her.
Absolutely.
Now, I trust that you'll do everything you need to do based off of our previous conversations.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have a good morning, Pumpkin. I look forward to that interview.
I'll hang up the phone.
And about 10 minutes later, all of you get a text message from Hannah saying, interview with Cassandra due this afternoon. Meet in the briefing room. No exceptions.
Is that like an all call, or is that us?
That's
specific?
just the 6 of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mira's room has now become a blizzard. There's hoarfrost on the windows. The cactus is covered in snow.
Oh,
Kevin
The
man.
comes
moose
out
is
of
an
the
ice
library.
sculpture.
Oh. I say Kevin comes bopping out of the library. She's been in there for several hours. She's like highly caffeinated. Like kind of like she muted the news as soon as it came on because she was heavy into like writing spells and everything. So she has no idea until she's like in there waiting for like folks to like get done with the line. And she's like, the what? Interview? Who? What?
You say that, and another member of Nevta, an Avery, looks over you and goes, yeah, an interview. We all do them. It's part of the job.
Do you have a script or something that I could use? Like you got talking points or something, man?
Cassandra
me out?
Drew will prep you before. These aren't live, thank God.
Thank God.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Thanks, man.
Good. That's good. Mm-hmm.
And then Kevin's gonna send while she's drinking her bajillionth cup of coffee and eating some breakfast, she's gonna send a text to Martin, just kind of like like a brief but not detailed update. You know, things went okay yesterday. There's stuff afoot. Keep an eye on my grandma.
Wait. Martin?
Grandma.
Her mentor.
Oh. You are thinking of Xander.
Xander, sorry.
Or Xander, well, no, so Martin is your mentor in the Isla.
The mentor there, but Xander is my person. Yeah, sorry. Xander.
Yeah. No, Xander messages you back and goes, you got it, Sweet Pea. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I imagine
So-
Nicodemus is like on a soldier's schedule, so regardless of what the night before looked like, it's probably like 4:35 a.m. for him regardless. So that breakfast phone call, watches the numbers, throws things around at the announcement of them, plots on how he's gonna fucking overthrow whoever is above him at this point. And then, but gets dressed in his like normal soldier's garb and heads over to the briefing room.
Yeah.
Plant more drugs on him. Come on, man. It
I
ain't broke.
So, you would know who this person is. So Emmy Sasky, she is from the Isla. She is an incredibly powerful, like, multi-class, like fighter something, like similar to you. Most members of the Isla are a fighter something multi-classed.
That's what we do.
Skill
And
issue.
she like she was one of the people yesterday. She wasn't on a dragon, but she was on something like pretty nasty and just completely obliterated it with like a volley of hits, and you know, just pin cushioned it.
Get on his wrist. Note to self: find dirt on Emmy Sasky. That'll go in his notes. Oh shit, that went to email. God damn. Ignore that.
Anastasia just looks at you. You see the standings this morning.
Who are you saying that to?
To you.
To me?
Yeah.
You probably just get a grunt.
I agree. Why don't we fix this?
What we, Wilma?
Team ups always look better with numbers.
What place are you?
It's true.
You just an absolutely false smile.
Because it seems like fourth place here is going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting if that's the case.
I mean, it's just an opportunity.
You tell me when that opportunity comes up when it looks like you have it. Maybe we can talk then.
I'm sure when you all are in the same place that I'll say the same to you. Same generosity.
Ronan and Anastasia are both tied for 9th.
Oh shit!
Does that count? Backup? Does backup assist? Does backup back up my points?
If you want backup to add to your points, then you are tied for 5th.
I say. I mean.
Does Rex
That's
give me any?
That's up to you. That is up to you. I don't know. I just know backup's got his own points, so I don't know if backup is just like in 20th place all by himself. If he's beating, if a construct is beating any individual member of the cavalry, that's good enough for me.
He's tied with Mira.
A mighty 3 points.
Mira's
for my
fine with
steel
that.
defender.
Mira really just is not about this showbiz business. Mira legit thought we were just here to fight monsters and save the world. The cameras are just an unpleasant realization.
Anastasia just pats you on
Yeah.
the chest and walks away, and then glares at Ro.
At me?
Yeah,
Fuck's your problem?
All right.
nothing.
We got to have a talk about this. Regardless, before we go in here and talk with Hannah. All right. What is this? 9th place? 3rd place? Come on now. If I'm going to be seen with it, we got to at least be top 5. All right. Tied at the very least.
Top 5 for 6 people.
There's plenty of ties out there. All right.
I mean, I don't
Very
know why you're
specifically
saying that.
including himself in there since he's number 4. I feel like without an insight check, you feel like if he would have been top 3, he would have said top 3.
I don't know why you're saying anything. Handsome man over here is above you.
I know
I'm not
the old
there.
man's above me. I had a publicist issue that's since been rectified. However, I'm mostly talking about our 3-point queen right here. If I'm going to be seen in public with you, like, at all at this point, I need you up there.
We need to work on your dress.
Your image is tanking right now.
After his morning tea, Emmett probably wanted to go to the library, and he's going to do a little bit of research early in the morning.
For sure. Do what you need to do.
Okay. I just wanted to get a bunch of information to carry with me throughout the morning patrol that I can do to see exactly the trajectory of Martha Alcott's rise into power, and basically like her history.
Yeah. I will say that y'all have been relieved of morning duty because of the night before. So basically, you do not have to go to the briefing room until about 2 when you have your interview with Cassandra Drew.
Then I'll probably show up to the common area at about 8 o'clock in the morning with a few books and reading through some stuff while shit, more tea, let's go.
Common area sounds good for this meeting. I'm gonna spend my time giving pointers to Mira about getting and what place is Kevin in? Kevin's tied with me right now, so I won't say anything with Kevin. It'll be Ronan and Mira just giving them pointers on getting their image
Mira
up.
is silently not making eye contact and grabbing food.
I do have a quick question. Historically speaking, how well have representatives from Nevta presented with the public?
Solidly middle ground.
Very very average. I am
Very mid.
I am keeping to the tradition at the moment.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this whole sponsorship corporate thing, is this just something that the other republics are doing? Because I don't think is Antio really into that?
Y'all just do your best.
Okay. I appreciate the participation trophy. I will take it. I'm fine with that.
You do your best.
And here's the thing, it's because you all have the same mentality. I described it in your session point 5 of just like all of Antio are aunties and cousins and uncles and parents and all those things, regardless if you're related or not. And everybody's very like community oriented and very soft spoken and all of the like very, because it's cold in the north, and you know what else are you gonna do when you're not fighting monsters? Hang out in the, like the community house and craft and tell stories and things like that. Antio participates because of the agreement. Like you know for a fact that if there was ever a reason to leave the like group or like relieve the like United Republics, they would, but you're all still protecting everybody. Like the lighthouse sends groups of people up to Antio when big scary things come and start to threaten y'all. So
Okay.
it's still beneficial to y'all.
Like Alaska on election day, like we voted, but no one cares about us. It's fine.
So
I'm gonna spend some time ignoring Nicodemus.
Yeah, if he keeps going, at some point, Mira is going to turn his nose into an icicle. There will be little points coming out of the nostrils.
Ow.
Just keep that in mind.
I'm very purposely spending. How long does that last? 8 hours. Perfect. I am making some small constructs in the shape of some of the monsters that were fought yesterday, specifically I'm making sure to make like a little green dragon and stuff. I'm casting Piney Servant to animate them.
Okay.
I don't fucking Ronan is not a public speaker, but if he can add some artificer and flair, perhaps that'll do some good.
Perfect. Anybody else? Emmett, you can roll your history check whenever, or history or investigation, your choice. And then
Same. I rolled
Okay.
a 19 and got a 21 total.
21 total. So, Martha Alcott, you're interested in about the like rise and fall of her,
Oh, have she fallen?
or I mean, you know.
I was like, oh
uh,
shit, is she like,
Spoiler!
Secret spoiler.
Spoiler!
are her
Yes, the
poles
rise-
looking really rough or something?
No, I think so. What the information with a 21, you get past the propaganda bullshit because you are part of the lighthouse, and so you have access to all of the information. Martha Alcott started off as just basically a Isla representative, a representative in the Isla, like their own like political system, because everybody has their own political system. So she was the representative from the north. You're northern, right? You said, Jones.
Yes,
Nicodemus,
Northern
okay.
District.
Yeah. So she was representing the northern district of the Isla, and had a pretty slow but consistent ranking up in the polls until they had the election for the representative of the Isla to be a representative for all of Amica, and she won. You can tell. Let's see, with a 21, her record is too clean, if that makes sense. Like, even the best person has gotten a parking ticket. Even the best person has some sort of vice, right? Like, yeah, according to this, she is literally someone on a pedestal that has literally done nothing wrong. Like, not even like a C on a school paper kind of.
Gotcha. Did she come from money?
Working class, not like fabulously wealthy, but parents like live on the Isla, which isn't a whole lot of folks living in like one of the high-rise buildings.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Any other checks or exploration of the Isla? Like I said, y'all have basically all morning and part of the afternoon before you have to do this, so you can explore.
I would like to roll a secret check if you're okay with it and send it to you in a message.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, what modifier you add to a secret check?
Your secret score, dummy.
You're saying, oh, you right, brother.
And
So-
Anastasia will just prepare for the interview.
Okay. What does preparing look like?
A lot of looking in the mirror, making sure her makeup's good, practicing different questions that maybe could pop up, making sure to run over the list of her sponsors, incorporating them in some of her answers. I couldn't have done it without Coca-Cola.
VPN.
Surfshark.
Nord.
Surf Penguin. And Ford. Oh wait, no, that's a company. No, Sword.
Gord.
Gord. Oh no, can't say Gord either. Big Gordo, come get you.
No.
Spit. All right, listen. What the hell? Breaks off icicles from inside his nostrils. Listen, in all seriousness,
That's just normal. It happens to him all the time.
it's cold as hell in here. I get that, but god damn it again. In all seriousness, It's just a matter of getting what you want at the end of the day. Even if it is wanting to save the world, even if it is wanting to help people, whatever it is you want, I don't fucking care. Being liked and well regarded and up in these numbers is going to help get that accomplished. It's how things are done around here, regardless of how you do things back home. Social currency is money all the same. Hate it all you want to. It's how things work. That's it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Bars.
All right. Is there anything else? Otherwise, we'll fast forward to the interviews. Go
I
ahead.
would just check in to see if I got a response from folks back home. for
Yeah.
information.
So I rolled a luck check, and you were very lucky because
Impossible.
I assumed you were. It's always high.
Correct.
Okay, so with a 92 on my percentage dice, you get a message back from one of your contacts with at the Nellis archive, and they say the information that we have about the last stand is fragmented at best, but based off of archival information, it appears that there were some talkings about a ritual.
Performed by the Six?
Correct.
Interesting. And any information regarding like the nature of that ritual, or just that there was a ritual performed
That there was
potentially?
potentially a ritual performed, and they said maybe components ?
Regarding the Six. Okay. Okay. And correct me, that the wording was the 6 missing pieces.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Fun. Yeah. Okay. So that and like making some little construct dudes. And like I said, kind of doing a little bit of research of like, well, shit. Like this is kind of why at least part of why I'm here, and figuring out like how Nevta has traditionally performed in these kind of social arenas.
Yeah. So about an hour before you're supposed to meet for the interview, all of you get a message, like another text message from Hannah that says, wear a good outfit, an interview outfit.
But
That's my best advice. So please describe what you do, what you're wearing. Yeah.
Emmett takes the flak jacket off and puts a blazer on. He's done.
Very distinguished. Beautiful.
I mean, he's already dressed nice anyway.
Correct, yes.
Nicodemus is in his full military regalia with like the crisp, like starched, sort of dark blood red uniform, with all of his brass freshly shined probably this morning, and with the lion pauldron on his shoulder shining as well, and that's what he's rocking.
Anastasia will have her hair down to one side, freshly shaved on the other. I don't know how to describe that. And full face of makeup, done herself, she's gonna have kind of like what she wore during the first night at the kind of like meet and greet. She's gonna have the bandages around her chest with a jacket that is set in her country's colors, and then a very cute flowy skirt with some type of matching boots that push her height a little bit higher because she is very short.
You break 5 foot with the boots.
No, the boots would have to be about a foot tall.
Holy shit, I didn't realize you were that short. I thought you were in the 4 foot range.
Yes. She is like 4'1".
Oh, 4. Damn!
He's teensy.
Shit! We're sure this is not a child.
All right,
Another
my
9-year-old.
3 not particularly camera focused folks.
Okay, I do have a plan.
Okay.
Kind of. So I'm gonna go through it. So generally speaking, part of what Ronan wears over his like combat gear is he has like a sturdy like leather coat that has like a bunch of pockets like that around on the outside and stuff. And that's where he keeps like bits and bobs, his artificer stuff. I'm gonna go through and I'm going to remove like a lot of the outer trappings with like a fucking knife. And I'm going to cast mending on it to like mend the rips and tears in it, so it looks like it's always just been one piece.
Okay.
And I'm gonna find like several other pieces of like the least like ripped clothing or least worn, maybe mend them up a little bit, so that they are all physically whole. And I'm going to go into this with the plan of I'm going to cast Disguise Self before I walk in, to make all of my clothes look nicer, but that it will line up with all the clothes, so there won't be any like illusory clipping. It's just like shining up what is already there.
Love it. Mira or Kevin?
I'll go.
Yeah.
So apparently I completely forgot. It looks an awful lot like Katara's outfit from the Water Tribe. Unintentional. It's they call them kuspuks. They kind of look like a parka. They're like fur lined. It's blue velvet, dark blue velvet. It's got really nice like rickrack that's kind of a silver, very elaborate beading also on either side, with white fur around the sleeves, the cuffs, the hood, and also the skirt part, and then matching dark blue suede mukluk boots. And a silver Inukshuk necklace this time.
Beautiful.
We go
Kevin.
hard. We're coming for the people.
Hey, Kevin, what you looking at, ma'am?
So Kevin would have like she's feeling the lack of sunlight, even if it's sunny here. It's not desert sunny, so she had gone off exploring, looking for a sunny place to get some sunshine and improve her mood. When she got the message, she's like, "Oh shit!" She ran back and so she brought a pair of like leather pants, right, and a pair of black leather pants, and it's another white t-shirt with the little blue bird on it. It's just fitted, right, so it looks more like fitted and more like an outfit. And she threw on a pair of like they look like combat boots, but they're clean. She like took glass cleaner to them and cleaned them up and brushed her hair, perfume or whatever, and then headed to the briefing room.
Beautiful. So you all head to the briefing room, all spruced up and ready for this interview. I know that we're going to try to do a little bit shorter. Is it okay if we go over about 15 minutes tonight? Beautiful. Okay. So
That's all right.
we are you meet Hannah in the briefing room, and she goes, "All right, soldiers, this is your very first interview. I'm going to take you out to the hangar. That's where we do all of the interviews, because it's not in the lighthouse. I refuse to let those pariahs in my building. So we do it outside. Cassandra Drew, airhead, but a lovely person.
I guess that's good.
So just don't answer if they ask you a question that you can't answer, just smile and nod.
I've heard
Look
similar
pretty.
advice.
So, any questions before you go out there?
No, ma'am.
I think we're all well prepared.
All right.
Yeah.
I should have called my mother.
Hannah shakes her head and opens up the armory. She's like, if you want to grab anything to look more impressive, you're welcome. But know that if you check something out for the interview, you have to check it right back in. Otherwise, go straight out the doors to the left in the hangar.
Wait, all at once? We do this all together? Is that how this works, or?
Just do it all together. That's what she wants.
It's a group interview.
Right.
Oh,
Praise the goddess.
Oh boy.
okay.
All right.
All right, so this is a little bit more important than I thought it was originally. I didn't realize it was a group interview, so please remember what I said.
I wasn't listening.
God damn it.
So you all follow Hannah out to the hangar. She, you all see her demeanor change, like on the first night of that you were there. She goes, "Hi, Cassandra. How are you today?" And Cassandra goes, "Hannah, darling, I'm so happy that you're here. And are these the new cohort? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that they're here." And Hannah, like in that same perky face, goes, "Yes. Now I'm going to leave them here. You take care of them. Don't do anything too mean, right?" And Cassandra goes, "Of course not, Hannah. I would not ever dream of doing that." And Hannah turns around. Her face immediately goes back to resting like indifferent face and walks back into the lighthouse. And Cassandra Drew turns her attention on the six of you and goes, "Oh my gosh, I have been like so ready to talk to all of you, especially after yesterday. Like, oh my gosh." So this is going to be pre-recorded, so don't worry if you say anything a little off-putting, because we can just edit that out and you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so first off, how was your very first all call? Were you scared? Were you prepared? Have you ever faced anything like that before? And she's like looking at all of you.
And Kevin will step up and say, "Well, I'm so glad you asked. Honestly, it was a little bit intimidating, not anything I had ever expected, but I had faith and confidence in my comrades here. And man, if you could have seen the way that they took care of business, my confidence is even further, shored up. And I'm just looking forward to the next 9 years with these amazing people."
Oh my gosh, that is so inspiring, Kevin. I can call you Kevin, right?
Please do.
That's your only name she's got.
She's only got the one.
I mean, it's better than Connor or Corbett or...
When you get like step back or whatever the case is, and Nicodemus like turns your hand over, do you have notes on your palm that says everything that you just said?
Not everything, but they're like
Talking points,
couple little...
main bullets.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
will shoot you
Like-
a thumbs up.
Anastasia,
Sorry, just one more. Yeah, you go ahead. I'm just gonna like turn for a second, like I have to like cough above my nose. I'm gonna cast enhance ability for charisma on myself real quick.
Beautiful.
oh, of course. I mean, I know that made the rounds, that I've hunted big game before, the shadow stag. And I mean, it was definitely a lot different than being out in the woods by myself. You know, just me and my rifle trying to hunt the biggest things that are around. But it was nice. It was nice having people that I knew I could rely on.
Well, the combo between you and Mira to defeat all of those nasty spiders was just inspired.
Absolutely. The way that she cast that, I'm not sure what that spell was called. Mira, what was it?
I cast a web to ensnare all of the smaller spiders while you, quite capably, I might add, got rid of the bigger ones. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. That, like, is so amazing.
Well, it's the power of teamwork. What can I say?
Oh my gosh, I know.
Killing Ian. Ian is not gonna make it.
Emmett will jump in and say it was pretty scary, but I was around in St. Phi when the Kraken attacked there without any training, so I'm easy to say that a dragon and a Kraken aren't the same thing at all. So
Basically the same thing.
Oh my gosh, Dr. Emmett, you were at the Kraken? Wow. Well, you and I will have to have a different interview to talk about that, because that is like, I'm getting ahead of myself.
sure, anytime.
Oh my gosh.
He'll wink at her.
Anastasia is making the
Sir.
same face that Nicodemus is making.
Shameless.
Cassandra looks over at you, Nicodemus, and goes, Nicodemus, you are a homegrown boy. We all knew that you were going to be doing amazing things.
Well, Cassandra, really, it's like everybody said here, it is teamwork, but at the end of the day, it's really not that big of a deal. The invasions aren't even that serious. Everything's handled. The Isla has everything under control.
Oh, I know, especially with folks like you. And she like gives you a wink, because you guys have talked at least once before. And she's just looking. So, tell me a little bit about yourselves. I mean, I know all about Nicodemus because he's from here, but all of you are new to the Isla. Is there anything that you've learned about the Isla, like any good food or anything that surprises you?
Can I ask for a quick roll?
Yeah.
Can I ask for an insight on Nicodemus? I want to know if he believes what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's between roles between players are determined between players, so I will let you do that.
Let me know what you're like,
Yeah.
what you're trying to glean.
Yeah. I just want to know if like I'm trying to figure out if how much Ronan has drank the Kool-Aid. Like, do you believe wholeheartedly like that the Isla has everything under control, or are you just spouting a party line for the press?
Oh, gotcha. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can roll it.
I'm just curious. I don't know. Oh, that's a 20. Nat 20.
Natural 20?
Yeah, for a whopping 23.
I mean, he does believe that everything's under control. I mean, these are invasions where people who go out and die, that's just sort of normal everyday life. People go out and die trying to defend things. That is what happens. We're a fucked up nation and people die to save it. But also, it like, I don't think Ronan, like with a natural 20, you know, you're not sure if it's Kool-Aid or just Nicodemus's arrogance that he thinks he could handle it if he was asked the question at the end of the day.
That's just okay, cool.
But
I
both.
just wanted to know if he believed it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Is this a sort of hard-hitting reporting that would ask that kind of question?
I mean, no, this is fully
Softballs
a
make us
puff.
look nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mostly wanted to roll that because I know we're talking to the press, but we're not actually being recorded yet. So
Yeah,
I figured if he was saying something sincere.
Yeah, it's like it's being recorded, like all these conversations, but like it's not live. This is
right.
It's going to get edited and thrown up to make the lighthouse look good. So yeah, So tell me about yourselves.
I'm gonna use that 17 wisdom and 20 charisma to just kind of brute force this. Well, if you had seen during our combat when I cast all of those spikes in tandem with the amazing job that Anastasia did, not only defeating the larger spiders but putting out the fires, she looked really good doing it. So I think it would be really, really wonderful to hear about how she got that amazing fashion sense.
Oh, that's an excellent question, Mira. I wouldn't have thought of that. Anastasia, tell me about your stylist.
Oh, I mean, my stylist, mostly it's things that I've come up with myself, seeking inspiring from some of the greats, and I do from time to time collaborate with certain different brands, and she lists off,
All the brands.
sponsors. And they give me such interesting insight on just the history for different types of styles.
Cassandra goes, well, I'm certain that, especially with the showing that you've been doing, that you're going to have folks all over the island, and maybe even all over Amica, copying your style. And she like looks at all of you and like zeroes in on Ronan. She's like, Ronan, you haven't talked to me yet. Where's your fun little your little backup?
Oh, I mean, I presumed he was not what, but of course, if it is best for him to be, I mean, I kind of did a little like the was it like dog trainer click and lumbering out, and I didn't know how well this would work, but backup has the two tiny servants, like he's folded out his little claws into like a platform, and it is a tiny him and a like a slightly larger size like model of like a green dragon, and they're just kind of like doing like they're battling in his little claws. Like, it's just a little like and it's relatively rote, but it is just little animated objects that are doing battle. Oh well, I mean, he's right here, ma'am. Of course, I didn't want to step in or step on anybody's toes or interrupt. Wouldn't be very polite, especially if I'm so new to the island.
Her eyes light up. She snaps her fingers and has the camera direct to zoom in on your little constructs, and then she goes, "Oh my gosh, those are the most darling little toys. Do you mass produce those?"
Praise be to the enhanced ability for charisma to keep a straight face. At the moment, no, ma'am. We out in the more rural areas of Nevta, it's not great opportunities for distribution of such things. But I mean, now that I'm here for the next 9 years, who knows?
Oh,
we'll see.
Gosh. Well, just know that when you're here, you'll have so many connections, and maybe you can work with some other artificers and mass produce those, because I know for a fact that people would love them, especially because they're after your model. And oh my gosh. Well, we'll just have to keep talking. I have continued to ramble.
Yeah.
Anybody else wants to share? Please share.
Well, Cassandra, I think the important thing is that you're looking at the next face of the heroes of Amica. Not just the island, but Amica as a whole.
Oh, well, that's to be understood. The lighthouse is for all of Amica.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I think we have a completely diverse and extraordinarily skilled team here that could tackle any situation that comes our way. I mean, like you said, it was our first real fight, and we completely trounced it. I don't think really anyone got injured, broke a sweat at all. Casualties were minimal, and for the dangers that faced us for our first real swing at things, I'm interested to see what we can take care of next. Keep everyone safe, keep everyone happy, heal this planet.
Oh my gosh, of course. Okay, last comments. I want to hear from all of you.
I mean, I am looking to partner with a tequila company, so I would love, keeping in mind that I am from Zona, so taste is very discerning, but, just kind of throwing that out there. If anybody, give me a call.
Damn, tequila company.
Well, I think, wow, my brain is mush, and now I can't remember your character's name, Jones.
Nicodemus.
Nicodemus. I think Nicodemus said it quite well, that we will show that we're ready and willing to serve the people of Amica where and whenever we're needed. Any time of day, any time of the year. And we look forward to serving all of you and getting to see your wonderful faces.
That's right. I'm going to very purposefully, I don't know if you want me to roll a performance check for this, but I'm going to put a hand on Anastasia's shoulder, like just around her as in like a supportive message, but just enough to get people like gossiping and rumor and stuff like, oh my God, could they be an item? Like, is that, or was that just a thing? Like, get that type of talk, because any buzz is good buzz, right? So
And she will play into it.
So I'm going to step up and do that. And as I do, and just so we're clear here, the real, and he'll look at the camera when he says this instead of Cassandra, says the real heroes out there are the Siths that are suffering this every day. So stay strong. We're out here to help. Don't hesitate to call.
I know I've said it already, but I'm new to the island. This is the first time I've been here ever. Not even just in my adult life. So I've spent my entire career in the realm of artifice, with the more pursuing the more practical, if mundane, constructions that is practiced in Nevta. I hope to bring perhaps that same functionality to apply it in new ways here on the island, and of course hopefully to encourage those who have only ever practiced their arts here to maybe take their talents on the road, see what there is to see. There's always more to learn from people who have different techniques than yours, and I have known many a skilled artificer out in Nevta, and of course if not my doors, as I don't think y'all are all allowed into the lighthouse, you don't mind me saying, but my messages will always be open to those who perhaps have any advice or any anything they feel that they can add, or things they could ask of me in this realm. I'm happy to spread my knowledge.
Emmett or Mira?
Yeah.
Emmett's just gonna wrap things up as usual. Any of the proceeds that we have for donations during any of my patrols will be sending to the Clerics Without Borders initiative, and making sure that we can keep everyone safe, not just from monsters, but from the little things as well.
Mira?
I really like what the good doctor had to say earlier about healing the world. That is very important to me and to my people, and I hope that I can make them and my family, hi Mom, and my ancestors proud. Thank you all for choosing me to represent you.
All right. So we're gonna do some social status rolls here, and what that means, friends, on the screen. social status is how they accrue social currency in game. So as they accumulate points, they'll be able to spend those points later on. So what I would love from all of you, roll with advantage because Cassandra Drew is very amiable and likes all of you. You're still in that sort of honeymoon phase of being brand new to the Isla.
We're interesting.
You're interesting. You're the shiny new toy.
I don't like that.
She tell me what skill or thing that you're rolling, and roll it.
We don't get bonuses for natural 20s, or how does it work if you roll a natural 20 in a social roll?
You just get really high numbers.
So I was just gonna do persuasion and pushing people to give. So my total's 29.
29.
With
so
a natural 20.
With a natural 20, you get 4 points for social status.
Damn.
Yes.
I am sorry to one up you, Kent. I just rolled 2 natural 20s.
Oh,
Yes, dude.
shit.
Hell
No
yeah.
way.
Jesus.
Ain't no
Awesome.
way.
To honor 2 nat 20s, what's that? What's the statistics? I think Brendan Lee Mulligan talked about that. It's
1 in
like
400.
yeah.
It's
So
low. 0.25%.
yeah. So okay, with a double nat 20, I'm gonna say that like your whole style thing, like you start trending like almost automatically. So you God.
Hashtag stays to
10.
watch.
I'll give you 10 points for social status points.
Holy shit.
Sheehan can't
let's
make your
go.
stuff fast enough.
Nice.
Who's next?
Oh, this
Uh,
is
I
not-
rolled a 15.
Okay.
Unclear what that means.
So you get what did you roll it for?
Oh.
Just like persuasion or
That's
what
a
were
good
you?
question. Should I roll it again if I don't know?
Yeah, roll it again, and then we'll move to other people who know what they were rolling for.
Okay, let me. Yep.
Mine was 21 insight, like
Okay.
knowing what to say or what people wanted to hear.
Yeah, so 21, you get 4 points for social status.
Yeah.
Roll.
I
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You go.
Okay. I also got a 21. I was going with kind of Tinker's tools with pushing the artificer angle of like, yeah, I'm here to learn new stuff too and help you guys learn.
Yep. So you get 4 points for social status.
Oh.
Nicodemus or Mira, if you figured out what you...
Lasai.
Okay.
I rolled for Arcana. The highest roll I got was 8, so plus 2 is 10.
You
Yay.
get 1 social status point.
Hooray! Still
Holding up.
unpopular.
It's not so much. You're not unpopular. You just have a very specific niche of people, and that niche of
I'm an
people
acquired taste.
is Antio. Antio loves you.
Yeah, ancestors. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nico.
I did not get a natural 20. I got an 18 on the dice for 25 total with performance.
Okay, that is 5 points of social status to your total. And as its conclusion, Cassandra looks at all of you and goes, "It was so lovely, thank you." So all of you, stand like this, and she starts moving you to like into a group shot, and then she stands in the foreground and like arranges all of the cameras with like a flick of her wrists to like do a big wide shot, and goes, "And that was a enlightening interview with our newest Calvary members, and I'm sure that we're going to see so much more from these amazing heroes in the future. Goodbye."
Yep.
And that's the end of this session, my friends.
Whoa!
So, lots of things happened. Before we kick off, there's a link in the chat for Extra Life. We were raising money with the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. So if you have it in your heart wallets to donate, please do so. At some point, we are. Who are we raiding? Maybe.
We're
Are
gonna raid
A poison.
Lost Initiative.
That's
What
a bad
Jones
bad
said.
thing to lose. You need those.
So we'll, while we wait, Lost Initiative, go hang out with them. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later. Bye, friends!
Bye, 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 bye. Ah!